not the victory of might, but the vindication of right. Not peace at the expense of freedom, but both peace and freedom here in this hemisphere, and we hope around the world.
I have a dream.
Well, that's where we start when I go into politics.
Continue to be held as hostages in an attempt to force unacceptable demands on our country.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Is increasing inequality and deep divisions among our own people.
Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack.
Congress has failed to pass federal hate crimes legislation that protects LGBT Americans from senseless violence.
So let us summon a new spirit of patriotism, of responsibility, where each of us resolves to pitch in and work harder and look after not only ourselves but each other.
Broadcasting live from the MSC Radio Network with an eye on the world, and Newt has his eye on us. From the city built on steel, rock and roll, and is the fictitious home of Betty White. How did I mess that up? It's the energy of Newt Gingrich in our city of Cleveland that's throwing me off.
Bringing it down. He's bringing it down.
And how can you mess up Betty White when she just gave us such a salutation on the Super Bowl commercials?
I know. Beautiful Betty White. She's everywhere.
We missed 1 week, and this is what happened.
Lots actually happened in the last 2 weeks. It's crazy what is going on. Well, first of all, I think I see a tribute going on. Robin is in, I think, a wedding gown.
I am in my version of a wedding gown. I am because, as much as people were talking about Prop 8 and all the other states that are going after marriage equality and things like that, I just wanted to ask them, how could you deny a bride like this a wedding? Like, how could you? Let me stand up. Look.
You're far too gorgeous for anyone to deny that.
Like, could you deny me my wedding?
No. I know.
Well, don't worry. I'm single.
If I wasn't married right now, I would marry you. Just because you look so beautiful.
Well, thank you.
And you wouldn't be invited to mine because you'll upstage me, so...
See, you're always worried about your fashion.
I will wear a jogging suit and sit in the back so long as I can watch.
Stop. No, you're going to have to dress me and my makeup and hair.
No problem.
Done.
Well, it is the evening of February 8th, 2012, and our guests this evening are Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur. I was speaking to her chief of staff earlier today. Her press secretary, who was speaking to the chief of staff at the same time, and they were trying to find her. She is scheduled to be on this evening.
MIA.
She was at the Capitol, and she was brought into some committee hearings and some private rooms to have some discussions.
She's doing some legislating.
Just a little legislation having to take place this evening that she's part of. So we are hoping to get a call from her. If we do not, then we'll go on, and I was promised that she will be on next week if they don't get her to our show this evening. And the other guest is David Malik, who is a pretty genius civil rights attorney here in Cleveland, and he happens to be representing two young gay men who were beat down by the Cleveland police here in the city of Cleveland, and a pretty gruesome and bad story, and we're going to get to all of that a little later on in the show. What is wrong with my tongue? And it's getting tied up this evening.
It's no problem. Talking about a situation like that will certainly get you tongue-tied, and as much as I love my own city, they're going to have to make some cutbacks when this lawsuit goes through. I hope it goes through. That it was... Okay, well, we're going to talk about it.
We'll talk about it. It's awful.
It'll be in the second half hour. And, of course, the big news is Rick Santorum is feeling... Woo! Let's all say Santorum. Santorum.
Santorum.
Santorum. We all get to say Santorum.
Woo!
And we all know the double meanings of Santorum. So but he, he's feeling quite victorious today.
As well he should. I am so excited he is back in the race.
I know. I'm sure he's feeling great.
Yes.
But the baseline of this whole situation is that the caucuses that took place really don't matter.
No.
They matter, I guess, in some for a PR standpoint, and certainly trying to move his campaign forward, or anyone who won the caucuses forward. But when it comes to the delegates, it does not matter. Those votes will go in later for other races, for another caucus that'll take place. That those delegates will be chosen, but not this week.
As of this afternoon, though, he was second in number of delegates so far. Above Gingrich, he's got 69 delegates.
You know,
can't make this up.
Santorum with 69 delegates.
Cannot make this up.
I know. It's just
it just keeps coming.
Brilliant.
You're welcome.
What if the what were the numbers? So I didn't get a chance to look. I think you pulled it up a little earlier. So, but I mean, he came ahead of each one. Ron Paul actually did well in 2 of them.
Yeah, so Missouri, we got Rick Santorum at 55%. Ron Paul was third there. Mm-hmm. Ron Paul came up a strong second here in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. Minnesota.
And, yeah, and that's the one where our friend Mitt came in third.
Yeah, and in Colorado, Newt Gingrich he came in third, right?
Third.
First your Patriots lose, and then...
Oh, see, I was waiting, Chris. I was waiting for someone to make a Patriots comment. You know, it was a little painful. New York, see, the thing is what people don't get about New York and New England is that New Yorkers crap on New England all the time. They think they're much better. They come and they invade us.
And in this case, they were.
Shut up. They invade us in the summer.
Oh, I'm so upset.
They buy our real estate up. They throw our property values through the roof. And then when average New Englanders try to sustain life, and New Yorkers keep on bringing it up, and then they are rude when they come and visit. They treat people poorly.
You know, it's just a little ball game. I don't know why you're getting
It's more than that.
It's an old wives' tale.
What's a wives' tale?
What you're saying.
No, it's the truth. They abuse New Englanders. I'm not going to say any more about it.
I love talking to ball fans about football because they're so into it. I've never met one that wasn't completely animated while talking about it.
I don't know how you don't get into the New England Patriots when Tom Brady, that gorgeous man, is the QB. I mean, how the hell do you not support the Patriots? Chris, I know you think Tom Brady is hot, no matter what you say.
I don't. I'm good.
I'll tell you what I watched the Super Bowl for, halftime.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's go there.
In the words of RuPaul, it was Madonna's time to lip sync for her life.
And she did.
She did. Yeah. The whole time.
Like, the whole entire. You think? I thought there was maybe like a 5-minute part where she might have sang herself.
If she did, she did it while she was standing completely still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, I mean,
I don't know where to start.
So, what do you think of the bird being given?
The what?
The flip off, the middle finger thing.
I missed it.
You missed the whole controversy.
That's a whole big thing. That's what everybody's talking about.
How did you miss that?
What happened?
It's not see now I don't even know her name because I'm not cool enough to know that.
MIA.
Thank you, MIA.
Oh, MIA.
Yeah, she flipped off everyone.
The camera, yeah.
How did you?
Live TV, and so like now there's like this whole thing between like, is it the station's fault? Is it the NFL? Is it like who?
And the thing is that
it's her fault.
I never. Right, it is her fault. Right. I didn't see. I mean, I saw the performance, but I didn't notice her doing it.
Well,
either. So
I didn't see that part either. I was just so like mesmerized by the guy that was bouncing on that wire, and I'm waiting for him to do something really awesome and cool, and he just kept bouncing on that stupid wire, and that was it. And I was like, wow, what a letdown.
Oh, my goodness.
I haven't seen a performance like that since Britney did Give Me More on the VMAs. Madonna was showing her age.
Yeah.
I am checking here to see if we are hearing yet from Congresswoman Capter's people.
Anyway, so
that's our other guest.
This whole Super Bowl thing, I'm like, and I don't know anything about football. I really couldn't care less. But so I go to a Super Bowl party, right?
Right.
And my whole thing, I'm like, so who are you voting for?
You're such a political geek. You're like, don't you vote for the best team?
Right. Does America not have a say in this? And that's where I'm just...
What kind of intrigued me, though, the most at the Super Bowl was the picture that's floating around the internet right now where they have the picture of the sniper rifle that was looking over the crowd.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah. Well, actually, they had SWAT team from Indianapolis there, and they
Protecting who?
Protecting the crowd, just in case there was some crazy nut that wants to blow up the stadium or something.
Oh yeah.
So they had the sniper there, and I kind of found
This is America.
Yeah. Well, I kind of found it creepy that they threw the picture up on the internet showing that this guy behind the sniper rifle. I'd rather not know he's there.
Right.
You know, that way I'm not looking over my shoulder if a bullet's going to come. You know what I'm saying?
I have to say, whenever I go to D.C. and you do see these snipers up in the White House and around the city, it really does kind of creep you out.
With the machine guns, I was there this past September
Yeah.
11th, and just getting on and off their the metro.
I remember not long after 9/11, Mark and I were traveling to Pennsylvania, and we got stuck on the Washington Bridge in New York, and there were guys with machine guns walking up and down the bridge, and it was the weirdest thing to think. It just felt like, wow, this is scary. But I want to digress, only because if Congresswoman Capter isn't calling in yet, I do want to play a clip of her because it ties into, she's a very passionate politician. She has represented Ohio in a wonderful progressive way. There is, part of the thing here is that her and Dennis aren't too far apart, Dennis Kucinich, on many issues, and she has been passionate about fighting against foreclosures and the community having their homes taken from them. And we're going to lead into a little later on, but I wanted to just play this clip of Marcy, and here we go.
Let me give you reality from ground zero in Toledo, Ohio. Our foreclosures have gone up 94%. A few months ago, I met with our realtors, and I said, what should I know? They said, well, first of all, you should know the worst companies that are doing this to us. I said, well, give me the top one. They said, J.P. Morgan Chase. I went back to Washington that night, and one of my colleagues said, you want to come to dinner? I said, well, what is it? He said, well, it's a meeting with Jamie Dimon, the head of J.P. Morgan Chase. I said, wow, yes, I really do. So I go to this meeting in a fancy hotel, fancy dinner, and everyone is complimenting him. I mean, it was just like a love fest. It finally got to me, and my point to ask the question, I said, well, I don't want to speak out of turn here, Mr. Dimon. I said, but your company is the largest forecloser in my district. And our realtors just said to me this morning that your people don't return phone calls. I said, we can't do workouts. And he looked at me, he said, do you know that I talk to your governor all the time? He said, our company employs 10,000 people in Ohio. And I'm thinking, what is that, a threat? And he said, I speak to the mayor of Columbus. I said, why don't you come further north? I said, Toledo, Cleveland, where the foreclosures are just skyrocketing. He said, well, we'll have someone call you. And he gave me a card. And they never did. For 2 weeks we tried to reach them. And finally I was on a national news show and I told this story. They called within 10 minutes. And they said, oh, we'll work with you. We'll try to do some workouts in your area. We planned the first one after working with them for weeks and weeks and weeks. Their people never showed up. And it was a Friday. Our people had taken off work. They'd driven from all these locations to come. We kept calling J.P. Morgan Chase saying, where's your person, where's your person? And they finally sent somebody down from Detroit by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but our people had been waiting all morning, and a lot of people, that's how they treat our people.
You did a
Marcy Capter, I mean, I wanted to play that clip just because she's so passionate and she cares. She really does. And so we're looking forward to her coming on. We're, excited about her coming on. And I don't know her. I mean, unlike, we're here in Cleveland, so we all know Dennis and have worked with him and talked to him. But I don't really know her. And I'm definitely interested to hear what she has to say to us. And hopefully she brings that same passion. So,
yeah.
But you guys can talk amongst yourselves because I'm doing something here right now.
Please do.
Because,
Let's go ahead and tell everybody the number again because, like always, we encourage everyone to call in with your questions, comments, concerns, and just things you want to talk about. And that number is 1-888-668-0742. And I look forward to hearing from you. Of course, we'll answer the phone, providing you're not trying to collect money from me. I've ignored enough of those calls this morning.
Oh, that's nice to tell us. Usually... I mean, my ears have perked up. I think a couple of weeks ago, you told us how you understand. You knew your rights. You knew your.
She knew her Miranda rights.
I do know my Miranda rights. I have to, because as soon as they don't say them, that's how I know I'm off the hook. Like, oh, nope, you didn't say it. Let me go.
Oh.
If they don't read you your Miranda rights, then they have to let you go.
You know, and we do have Miranda's. I have to say that Miranda has done some pieces for this week. She was in a kind of a letter writing mode. She she wrote some things, and it's. I think we could do it now. Okay. Well, you know what I want to do first is because I think we need to at least give a little to Santorum for a second. We haven't said enough Santorum.
Right, no.
Santorum.
I think it's important that we all talk about this.
Okay.
So here's the thing. This guy has a huge anti-gay history.
Mm-hmm.
He actually, on the conservative scale, makes George Bush look pretty moderate.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And it is kind of scary that there is a potential. I mean, you know, the numbers are not on his side, and the chances of the potential actually working out that he could become our president.
Mm-hmm.
But just think. I mean, we're running down this pack, and we have one Democrat president in the White House, and we have this little group of people that it's come down to that could possibly win and then take on the president. And a lot of things would have to shift for a Santorum to beat Barack Obama. But just saying that, how scary of the world we would then go to. I mean, with the power, with the House and the Senate, and really just a couple votes away from them having a majority everywhere, it is a scary thought. And this is a guy who has spewed out hatred and certainly doesn't care, even though Mitt Romney's getting all the play against the poor folk and because of his fumbles and bloopers, but this guy is just as bad and
if not
less.
worse. He's calling the folks who support Prop 8 and the administration, the White House administration, that they're the ones who have irrational hatred and bigotry, and saying, like, where is the justice in that?
I know. And I saw him on an interview talking about the Susan G. Komen controversy this week, which we'll get to in a minute. And when you think about it, this guy, he's so blinded by his right-wingedness that he doesn't even know what to do with himself. I mean, and it's just, he never leaves that path. It's that simple. It's black and white. And whatever it is, and whoever gets hurt in that process is just too bad. It's really kind of scary. And, and you would expect that someone that gets this far along in the race would not have the kind of support. But I want to just play this. This is him on, I believe,
credulous
gay marriage.
Well, it sounds to me like Representative Paul would actually say polygamous marriages are okay. If the state has the right to do it, they have the right to do it. And it is not beyond reality, Ron. It is exactly what's being offered in other states right now, and it's being litigated in our courts right now, which is exactly how gay marriage came about, as we see here in the state of Iowa, where 7 justices forced gay marriage on the people of Iowa. I was the only one on this panel who came to Iowa last year and made sure that those 3 justices were defeated. I campaigned and worked to make sure those justices were defeated, because we can't have...
You can finish, Senator.
Okay, we can't have 50 marriage laws. This was the approach that the left took on abortion, which is to pick a few states, pick a few courts, and then go to the Supreme Court and say equal protection. You can't have different state laws, and then you'll have 9 people up at the Supreme Court deciding what marriage is in this country. You have to fight in each state, and that's where I disagree with Rick Perry. I disagree with Michelle Bachmann. I will come to the states and fight to make sure this strategy of picking off a state here and there does not be successful in transforming marriage.
So there you have it. I mean, he's saying Bachmann's not even as conservative on this issue. I mean, it's insane. And he is going to fight it and fight it. I mean, no matter what. He doesn't care about equality. I mean, he doesn't care about civil rights. It doesn't matter.
Well, I think it's more important than that we fight back, that we make sure that every voice is heard. If he thinks that it's just a few states that are going to be picked off as the strategy to get the Supreme Court to change their ruling on the entire United States rule on that, then I think it should be all 50 states with all of our people working towards it.
He's not going to make it. But it's going to be fun to watch along the way. That's why I'm just really excited.
I mean, obviously, we talked about this before. What is fun is to watch these men beat each other up.
Infighting.
Yeah, the infighting.
We don't have to say anything. They're doing it for us.
And how about the alliance between Newt Gingrich and, oh my God, my brain just went blank. I'm sorry.
Satan?
The casino owner. I was just forgetting about that multi-billionaire casino owner. But I was
Trump?
No. Remember, that's the other thing. Trump gave his endorsement to Romney, which was kind of surprising because he's bashed Romney in the past so much. But no, it's that billionaire casino. I don't know what.
I don't know.
And he's got the wife, and the wife gave the money. But anyways, I was just thinking about. They all say how they come to this moral high ground, but yet to take millions and millions of dollars from a casino owner is okay. I mean, they all do it. It's the same thing they all are doing. But
I just love using the government to restrict, a stranglehold on on women, on gays. Is that not what our government was meant for? Is that not what our forefathers saw?
That we would hold down the people and step on their heads.
Yes.
And keep them oppressed. That's the way to go.
And Santorum's sticking with it. You know, he's sticking to it. So good for him.
To the power.
I'll tell you one general rule that I've found out about our government, or, just people in general, is that hypocrisy is okay so long as it's in your favor.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So long as it's in your favor, it's fine.
Yeah.
You are right, Robin. That is played out all the time.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom. We actually should play, because we've talked about Prop 8, and this guy, I like the American Foundation for Equal Rights is actually a really great group, and I love their name because it sounds very right wing.
Right.
But they are, they're really following the Prop 8 stuff, and I go and I check out these guys every so often, and I just want to get there because this is their summary on Prop 8. So I just wanted to play that real quick.
Breaking news in the Prop 8 case: the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals just ruled on Prop 8. The results: an enormous victory, with Prop 8 ruled unconstitutional again. Marriage is, as we've been saying all along, a fundamental American freedom. This is a huge victory and a massive step forward for full federal marriage equality. Not only did the judges reject the outrageous assertion that the district court judge's ruling should be vacated after he confirmed that he's gay, they also upheld the district court ruling that Prop 8 is unconstitutional, that it was motivated by an unreasonable animus towards LGBT people, and that there is no rational basis for Prop 8's continued existence. But it's still not over. Prop 8 isn't off the books yet. The proponents will almost certainly seek review by the Supreme Court of the United States, so today's decision may be stayed until the higher court has a chance to rule. They could also ask for a do-over at the Ninth Circuit. We'll have more news on their next steps soon, possibly in as little as a few days. So what's next? Marriages still aren't ready to start, but we've passed a major milestone, and we're picking up even more steam as we head to the U.S. Supreme Court. Stay tuned for upcoming announcements about appeals, and visit AFER.org to sign up for email and text alerts. You can also visit MarriageNewsWatch.com for daily headlines about marriage equality from around the country and the world. And you can subscribe to our weekly news roundup, which highlights the week's biggest advancements towards equality for LGBT couples everywhere. And remember...
Yeah, I just wanted to play that real quick, but, I think that it's a very exciting time for Californians, for all the pain they've gone through with Prop 8. But it is weird how the world works, Mitt Romney, the guy that we really think will be the candidate for the Republican Party, the fact that he is, obviously Mormon, and the Mormon Church has put so much money into this battle and will continue to fight this battle, is really not only a concern, but I think that I don't know how Mitt Romney separates himself. At some point, when this race does come down to Mitt and Obama, I just don't know how he's going to get away from this. I mean, it's Prop 8. It's playing out right now. It could end up in the Supreme Court at some point, not tomorrow. But, it's really...
But, he flip-flops, so it's okay. He can just change his position, when it suits. So that's fine.
Well, actually, I don't know. He might, but I don't know.
Well, he did it with abortion, so...
But the only thing is that even when he was in Massachusetts, he's one of the guys that, he didn't make a huge stink of it just because Massachusetts is so progressive, but he certainly wasn't supporting, marriage equality. And it was weird because this past week I heard Santorum say that Mitt supported marriage equality in Massachusetts, which is totally not true. I mean, he did not, I can assure you, and he would never. But, a little side piece, as I look at his family, I always think, which one of his boys are gay? Because the chance of one of them not being gay is really slim. I mean, there's one that has a a face to me that possibly.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, one of his daughters could be a lesbian.
Yeah, I don't even know. You never really see his daughters, though. How do you know? I don't know if he has daughters.
Does he?
I don't know.
Maybe that's why we never see.
I only see boys.
You know what? I think I'm thinking of a whole different family photo.
How could you mess up the Romney photo? The Romney photo, they all look like little robots. They're very perfect looking. They look, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. They scare me. Actually, the mother doesn't. The mother doesn't look as creepy as all the men in the family. The mother kind of looks normal. She doesn't look like a Stepford wife.
She better step it up.
Step up what?
Now, what am I looking up? Santorum's
Because if she's
family
gonna
or
be-
Romney's family?
Why are you going to look up their photo?
Yeah.
Oh, people at home can look at the photo themselves. You don't need to look
Romney's
at the photo.
family photo.
We want to move it
daughters or
along,
sons.
anyways.
Okay.
I'm done talking about Romney. I'm not. What? You're not done?
No, I'm done.
The other, well, all this talk also, I'm thinking about Marcy Kaptur, and I'm thinking about what has been taking place over the last couple weeks around this language of rich and poor, and really it really ties back into the Occupy movement and what is happening. And I think that we need to say this every week. We really should encourage people to support Occupy and what is happening, and find creative ways to support Occupy movement in your city, in your town, wherever it may be, online. I mean, just because it really is for the people. And when you think of what's happened from what the banks have done around mortgages and around kicking out families and destroying neighborhoods and taking down not only poor folk, but just middle-class Americans who have worked all their lives for what they have. And I just want to say a quick story today. I know of a story here in Cleveland that's going to play out tonight, but the background on it, which you will not see on the news, is that this young boy who's dying, his family pretty much lost everything or not lost everything, but are losing close to everything because of the medical bills. And when you think of the medical industry, you think of insurance, you think of banking, and what that leaves us with. And I just encourage people to really kind of stand up and find creative ways, again, to express themselves around this. And I want to play a video where I thought this was really awesome, that a group of Occupy people got together in Brooklyn, and some people might have saw this video, and it's pretty impressive because of what they did. I just want to open this up, and I hope I did this right. It doesn't look right.
It looks like it.
No, I don't know.
That's not it.
Why is it not showing?
Uh-oh. We're having technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Chris, what'd you do to me, Chris? Oh, there it is.
Okay, there we go.
All right, so we're going to do this now. Chris, we're going to take the break a little later. Why is this not playing?
It's going.
It's going.
Okay, there we go.
Patience, Grasshopper.
We will now begin the auction. Please remain silent throughout. You'll be asked to leave the courtroom with your instructor. Vinny, Christina, please step up.
Sorry for this being so long to get to the point that I want to. But that was another guest that just called.
Can you tell us a little about what we're watching?
Yeah, what you're watching is this is a housing courtroom in New York City where they're about to read the auction off homes.
Okay.
All the people here, we're asking you to hold all the sales right now. We're going to survive, but we don't know how. Nature's auctioneer, all the people here, we're asking you to hold all the sales right now. We're going to survive, but we don't know how. Mrs. Auctioneer, all the people here, we're asking you to hold all the sales right now.
The guy's escaping.
We're going to survive,
Well, there you go. I mean, it is amazing because what they did in that courtroom, and anyone that is familiar with courtrooms, obviously, and going in there, and I work and go in a courtroom a lot, and to imagine people standing and starting to sing this song, to saying, Mr. Auctioneer, please stop. I mean, it's just amazing words, and just a simple line like that, and the power of it. By the way, later in the video, as it goes on, they were all arrested and taken out of there. But they're encouraging people to do this, and I think that it is such a peaceful and kind and amazing way to protest what is happening to our family members, our neighbors, and our communities. And I think you need to do stuff like this, and I love it. So I encourage people to go to YouTube and look up this video. But
it's a more than worthy sacrifice. Like, wow.
We'll add a link to it on the Joust It Out website.
All right, cool, Chris. And so of course it is into our break time already, and we need to get going with the break. We are, please, when we come back, feel free to give us a call. It's going to be a little tight, but you can give us a call, 888-668-0742.
You're so good with that number.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and friend us on Facebook. We will be back, and Chris, you're going to play our Alan Dove piece, I hope, which is tied to this piece.
See you soon.
Be a politician because politicians don't help anybody. But me, I would help everyone if I could. Blacks, whites, foreign or domestic, because I operate on instinct. And my instincts tell me that by nature, people are loving and caring and would much rather feed off of other people's happiness than to profit off of somebody else's misery. But compassion has been replaced by greed, even though we all share the same home on a planet that has more than enough for everybody. But we have lost our way. We have poisoned the earth and barricaded the world with hate. We've allowed social media to corrupt our ability to be social. Advancements designed to improve our lives have devalued our morals. Our knowledge has made us cynical. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness. To fend off a global system that causes us to torture and imprison instead of reason and listen. Why do our world leaders fear human progress so much? So they do everything in their power to keep us fighting amongst ourselves to the point where apathy is considered normal. True liberty can never die. As soon as all else fails, the power that was taken from the people will need to be taken back by the people. Why would anyone want to give it to a system that has to trick us to believe we have freedom, but then try to regiment our lives? A system ran by men that only make profit by the cooperation of the simple-minded, and a system designed to keep us that way. They tell us how to live. They tell us what to say. They tell us how to feel. They try to train us like sheep and then treat us like machines. But we are not machines. We are not sheep. We are human beings. True freedom doesn't lie in the hands of one man or a group of men, but in all men, in all of us. We the people have the power. The power that created the technologies that we depend on. The power of our own happiness. We have the power to make this a home worth calling a home. In the name of democracy, let us use our power. Let us fight for a new world. One where people can make a living, provide for their families, and keep their dignity in the process. And prosperity in old age is a right that is not denied to anybody. By the promises of these things, tyrants have risen to power, but they lie. They never fulfill these promises, and they never will. We must fulfill these promises ourselves and fight off the barriers of nations, the barriers of our souls. Do away with greed, hate, and intolerance. Fight for reason. Fight for a world where science and progress is our evolution and not the very thing that enslaves us. So for the sake of democracy, for the sake of our futures, there is no tomorrow.
User-friendly and ready to serve. MorningShowCentral.com.
Project X Show.
Driven by porn. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. Right here on Morning Show Central Radio Network. Project X Show. Live on MorningShowCentral.com. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits. A 99.5% uptime guarantee and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. Check out Uncensored Net Noise every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here. Uncensored Net Noise on MorningShowCentral.com. If you live the lifestyle, then you should arrive in style. Lifestyle Limousine Service. Whether it's dinner for two, an evening at the winery, or a night out on the town, Lifestyle Limousine provides extraordinary service. Check them out on the web, lifestylelimousineservice.com. Reserve your ride now. 330-903-0508. 330-903-0508. Lifestyle Limousine Service. And make sure you tell them Morning Show Central Radio Network sent you. Cocaine Energy Supplement. Due to great consumer demand, Redux Beverages has officially announced the return of its world-famous Cocaine Energy Supplement. It's now available at retail locations across the country, as well as online at ReduxDirect.com. That's ReduxDirect.com. Don't forget to be part of the all-new Cocaine Energy Supplement social network, where you can meet other Cocaine Energy Supplement fans from around the world. Cocaine Energy Supplement. You can become a member. By logging on to lovecocaine.com. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right.
Rise above the clutter. Brand your identity and make a statement. Broken Fan Media. Expert video production, television and web commercials, music video, real estate tours, live concerts and events, state-of-the-art post-production, video and audio editing. Check us out on the web at brokenfanmedia.com. 434-944-0472. Broken Fan Media. The next generation of sight and sound.
If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com.
You're listening to MSC Radio Network, and like anything else on the internet, it runs on computers. Lots of computers. And you know, when you're dealing with computers, hard drives sometimes crash. That happened here at MSC, and you know what saved them?
Rectify backup software. Don't believe us? Well, ask yourself this question. Are you backed up? Probably not. So don't be that guy and wait till it's too late. MSC did their research and tried tons of different backup programs and chose Rectify backup software. You know, peace of mind is priceless, and Rectify can give you and your computer system that peace of mind. Find out more at rectify.com. That's RECTIPHY.com. Hey, Unsigned Bands.
You are jam-packed.
Hey, Unsigned Bands. Want your music heard? Yeah! Shoot us an email with the name of the band and the MP3 of the song. Send it to show@morningshowcentral.com. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on morningshowcentral.com.
Hey, it's Big Daddy from the Marty Allen Show. Catch the replay of the Marty Allen Show every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on MSC. Now, my show airs Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. and Saturdays at 2 at MartyAllenShow.com. But you can catch the best of the Marty Allen Show every Thursday at 7 p.m. right here on Morning Show Central. So if you want all the latest sports news, entertainment news, and everything else that's going on in the world, then tune into my show live at MartyAllenShow.com and the best of the replays right here at MorningShowCentral.com. Get MSC and get cooking, baby.
From the Cocaine Energy Supplement Studio, you're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
I have a dream.
My mic is on. There it is. We're back. And this is Jousted Out. I first want to thank Alan Dove, who did that great piece that when we went into the break, it was a very powerful piece that he did. And I thought it was a nice mix with the Occupy people and taking back our country people. I noticed that Shane May is in the chat room hanging out with Swamp Witch and all the rest of our friends.
Hey, Shane.
Hey, Shane.
Hey, Swamp
and we
Witch.
are waiting for an update from Shane. We'll probably have him on maybe next week if he wants to come on and fill us in what's happening with him and his husband.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll get something on in the chat room if Robin wants to check that out if he has any update. But if not, we'll get him on. If not, we'll get him on soon. So. Obviously, Shane May is another person who has faced discrimination in Ohio and really come up against it, him and his husband. And I think that the pain that we see sometimes and the ignorance of other people and what they inflict on folks is really difficult. And I just want to talk quickly. In my daily work, just happened to be yesterday, I was in a room full of people who are tied to care and treatment in Cleveland, and they own group homes. Those folks actually, when we addressed issues of HIV and AIDS, I stood in a room that I thought I was in 1987 and heard things that were so painful and discriminatory. And I just thought, wow, as far as we have come, we're talking about gay marriage in Prop 8. We're seeing gay marriage. We have equality rights around the country and other states. But yet we have so far to go. And when you really hear the stigma and just the anti-everything language around the LGBTQ world, it really is difficult at times. And it brought my colleague and myself to actually tears today when we were talking about it because it was so difficult. And I just, people like Shane May who stand up with his husband, it's really powerful. And, we had a couple in Cleveland and a good friend of ours, Lisa Amigo, who is a reporter with Fox 8 News, who's a wonderful reporter, found and uncovered a story around these two young guys who were beat down by a Cleveland police officer and then held in a van all night long in their underwear and pretty much abused for hours. And they are now suing the city of Cleveland for their treatment and their anti-gay treatment. But I'm going to play this video, and it might be a little difficult to hear because it's not directly from the station, but let's see what we can do here.
We were called faggots a lot by the police, and I consider that a fighting word.
Jonathan Simcox and his partner Stephen Ondo claimed they were subjected to excessive force and prejudice because of their sexual orientation. In a civil lawsuit filed in U.S. District Court, nationally recognized civil rights attorney David Malick alleges several officers from the Cleveland Police Department violated the couple's constitutional rights stemming from an arrest early last year.
It was more humiliating than I probably can even explain to you.
Right at the bottom of the hill.
Back in April, Jonathan and Stephen were walking home from a bar on the near west side when they got into an argument. They say a neighbor who happened to be an off-duty Cleveland police officer came outside and confronted them.
He came over shouting at us, you know, saying all types of things. Just, shut up, you're disturbing the peace. I, pushed to get past him, and as soon as I did that, he knocked me on the ground and just started beating me, hitting me, standing over top of me, just punching me repeatedly.
A few minutes later, police showed up. Stephen and Jonathan were arrested and hauled off to jail.
At the time, my hands were all cut up. I was covered in blood.
Jonathan and Stephen say after they were released from jail the first time, they were told no charges were being filed. But about a week later, they were upstairs sleeping inside their home when they heard a loud banging outside their front door.
There's a whole bunch of commotion, like...
According to the lawsuit, 6 or 7 members of the SWAT and/or warrant team were on a sweep that day. Jonathan and Stephen said officers informed them they were wanted on a warrant issued for assaulting a peace officer. They say each time they tried asking questions, the officers became increasingly violent.
The officer in the glasses then grabbed me by my shirt and punched me twice in the face. After he punched me, he took me and he threw me up against the wall.
Jonathan says he and his partner were wearing only underwear and T-shirts. When Jonathan's brother asked police if he could get them some pants and shoes,
he said, you can go get them shoes, but faggots don't deserve to wear pants in jail.
Jonathan and Stephen say police ordered them to stand outside for at least 5 minutes in the freezing cold.
Right in the middle of our yard.
In your underwear?
In our underwear, handcuffed to each other.
According to the lawsuit, Jonathan and Stephen were taken to jail, and at least for one whole day, their repeated requests for pants were denied.
Other people came in. We were the only ones in our underwear. People were asking us why we were in our underwear.
Jonathan and Stephen's rights were violated because, and part of who they are, because they are homosexuals. And they went to trial, and it was proven that they didn't do anything wrong, and they were found not guilty of all of the charges against them.
All right, well...
I'd like to be in court the day that they go to trial.
I just want to say I apologize for the video quality because it was from someone shot it from their cell phone camera,
right?
From the TV screen. So
I know.
Apologize, but the audio was good though.
Yeah, the audio was fine.
We're glad they did.
Well, Chris, I think we should call. Actually, so the attorney mentioned in this piece of the civil rights attorney David Malick was mentioned, and Chris is going to give David a call right now.
Okay.
He was at a thing this evening that he wasn't able to really promise if he could answer, but he might. So he said, please give him a call. So, Chris, we're going to try that right now. But and what we've done is David and I have spoke, and the guys are going to come on the show in the future. David is going to speak tonight for just a couple minutes, and then we're going to move on. But I think that it's important that Joust It Out supports these guys, and maybe we can figure out a way that we can do some raising of dollars maybe and to even help them in their legal fight. And I think that that's something that we need to do. Oh, all right, Chris. He's still tied up. So
it's just so disturbing. And, and I hate to say this, but I'm really not surprised.
Right.
I mean, this is the Cleveland Police.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that I'm surprised by this. You got to remember, this is the same police department that a few years ago, didn't believe that women were coming up missing, and we ended up having a serial killer in our city. And then the police just using, their power. I don't know. I just don't have the words.
Well, I want to say is that when I was talking to David earlier today, he was telling me some of the background, and it's pretty not only intense, but there's also witnesses about this that witnessed this case and saw what took place. And there's going to be some pretty damning evidence and testimony against the police officers. So, I mean, these guys got a lawsuit for a good reason. This is not...
And what's so unfortunate is that, unfortunately, these guys are probably not the only ones who have been beaten down like this.
Right.
Exactly.
But they're the ones who have the witnesses. They're the ones who have each other, and they can stand up with each other and have that support. But, I think about all of those people who, don't end up getting dragged into jail.
Right.
They get beat up. up, left on the side of the road to fend for themselves.
Well, I think all of us then should. I'm always saying all of us because I always want everybody to do everything, but more people should just open up their mouths and let people know what's going on. Even if it's not in a legal standing, it should be. Go make a video. Go do a blog post. Go get some evidence out there, that this is what's going on. Yeah. So that way, it won't be just, this is a random occurrence. This is happening over and over again.
It's ingrained in the culture.
And I want to say this, is that, there are the majority of police officer and law enforcement officers are people you can trust and believe in. Mm-hmm. What people that are doing this and these officers did it's really an isolated incident. And I want to say that because I work with officers all the time around LGBT issues, and they are sometimes the heroes that make sure that LGBT people are protected. So I don't want it to be like we're anti-police on this at all. We're not. But when you look at these officers, they need to be taken off duty today. They are not, by the way. They are on duty because of their union. They are not even at a desk. Instead, they're out in the streets of Cleveland. And until this investigation's done, they should have, they are saying there's an investigation. There should be a thorough investigation on these officers. They should be on desk duty, if not right now at home, and not doing anything.
But but they said that years ago about this rape task force when these women were coming up being murdered by a serial killer, and still there's nothing there. So I want to believe.
It makes it hard to believe
that it's not ingrained in the culture of our Cleveland police, but they're not making it easy for us to believe them.
And what's surprising is we have a mayor that is very supportive of the LGBT community, and I think that, I don't know what they're thinking. Of course, once a lawsuit is filed, it kind of changes the dynamic of what can be resolved. But I would think the mayor and the majority of city council would just be appalled at this. They have to be. I mean, look at our friends like Joe Simperman and Matt Zone.
I wouldn't mind a few public statements.
Yeah, I know. There has been nothing, but again, once a lawsuit happens, it really changes that dynamic of what they can say. Okay. So we don't want to bash them yet, but I think that it's important that we move along, we watch this process, and the LGBT community of this city really needs to hold the city accountable at this point for these young men. And so we will, again, I apologize that we didn't get David tonight. We lost both. It's already 7:55. Oh,
wow.
Two of our guests, two major ones, who now hopefully we'll have on next week. And I hate when this happens.
Should I try him again?
Why don't you try him? Yeah, but we have another guest that might be calling in here any minute. So why don't you try him one more time?
Okay.
And then if that doesn't happen, we have our guest that'll be calling in, which is a surprise guest because, when you're having all this kind of stuff go down, sometimes you need to lighten it up a little bit.
Let's see.
In the
meantime, while the phone rings. Yeah. Chris? No, okay.
Okay. Well, with all this going on, with everybody who wants to attack and bash, one thing needs to be said, and that's that we're not going anywhere.
Forget it, Chris.
We're not going anywhere. We're not going to be scared out of who we are. And the more that they come after us, the bigger publicity we get. I mean, they're only making it worse for their own
Susan
cause.
G. Komen.
By the way, I just saw in the chat room they wonder if the special guest is Rick Santorum. No, it's not Rick.
I think your special guest did try to call.
Oh, Chris, how'd you not get that through?
Damn it.
Well, I can always call it.
No, I'll tell him to call again. I'll text him again.
Totally our fault, but anyway.
Wait, here he is.
Okay.
I got him. Hold on. He's coming.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited too.
I'm excited because I don't know who it is.
All right, he's up.
Hey, is this Johnny?
Hi, guys.
Johnny, I'm so excited.
I'm excited too, but of course you're excited. But I mean, I'm excited too.
Oh my goodness. My dream has come true.
How did you guys get him?
Jonnie Jenkins, go ahead, Johnny.
There was lots of behind-the-scenes producers talking and negotiations, but eventually I just decided to come.
You know, Johnny, I want to tell you that you're in a prominent space on our show tonight. Now, Johnny, if anyone remembers, Johnny, several weeks ago, we went out and he does amazing videos that you can find on YouTube, Jonnie Jenkins.
And I said, we got to get him on the show.
Because he's so fabulous, and you're in a premier spot. This normally is Jennifer Swampwich's spot, but tonight we have you here. Jennifer's in the chat room, and I'm sure Jen won't mind not being on tonight because we're going to have you on the show for the last couple minutes before we take it out.
Jennifer's actually very
Thank
excited.
you, Jennifer Swamp Cooler. You're just the sweetest. And I appreciate you letting me take your spot for the night. I promise I won't do it every night.
So, Johnny, now where are you from? Where do you live? Where does the...
I'm from Beverly Hills, California, PH. And right now I am not living there. I can't tell you. It's a big secret. I don't want to say it on the radio. I'll get all kinds of stalkers. And I've been living all over. I was in New York over the summer, blah, 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 but my home is Beverly Hills.
You are so fabulous. And in some of your videos, your moves now and dancing...
Your backup dancers.
You taught me how to sing. What is that, a rift?
You have to make the videos, you know. Like, if you have as much talent as me and it boils up inside of you, then you'll explode. And so my feeling is, like, I have to, you know, get my talents out there. I want people to see my dancing and hear my voice and, you know, stuff like that.
Johnny, if you don't mind me saying this, but being a California girl, how do you feel about Prop 8?
You mean Prop 8?
Right.
Well, you know, I mean, let's get political for a second, Joust. Can I call you Joust?
Yes. I'm quite proud of my Joust.
Okay, let's get political for a second. Here's the thing about Prop 8. I mean, it's just taking away rights. It's just taking away human rights. And when it comes down to it, it's just illegally taking away something that should never have been taken away. And, I mean, I'm glad that it was repealed again, and I hope that pretty soon it's in history and we never hear about it again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Are you maybe going to do a song in honor of the verdict?
I mean, I hadn't thought of it, but you just gave me an idea. Of course, I'm going to steal that idea and tell other people it was my idea in the first place, but thanks.
You can have it, Johnny.
Is this a recording?
Well, you know, Johnny, we really thought about you this week when Madonna took the stage and, you know, she did Like a Prayer. But I have to say, nobody does Like a Prayer like Johnny.
Nobody.
I know. Well, I mean, that's why I always feel so bad when I cover a song by someone, because it's like, that was their song and now it's mine, you know, and it makes me feel really bad because it's like people used to watch them and now they're like, who's this bitch on the Super Bowl? We've never seen her. They're like, where's Johnny? And it just makes me feel a little bit guilty. Not enough to stop.
It's like, why was Madge even covering
a pin in it for the day, but I do feel a little bit bad. And she, you know, she did a fine job. I was like, go you. But I know that how many people watch the Super Bowl? 30 million. At least 20 to 29 million of those people were probably like, where's Johnny? And for that, Madonna, I want to apologize to you.
Well, Johnny, you know, we are at our 8 o'clock time and we need to get going, so we are going to go out with you. We're going to play you in a second and your Like a Prayer video, and we certainly hope you come on again. We love you. We will be following you, whatever videos. When you send out a new one, we want you to send it to us too, because we'll love to play it. But we truly adore you, and keep up the great work out there.
Thank you. You guys are the sweetest. Thanks for calling me and having me on your show.
Thanks for joining us. Kiss, kiss.
Bye, Johnny.
Bye.
Here we go.
Kiss, kiss. Good night.
Good night, Johnny. So here we go with Johnny's video. We're going to go out with this.
Okay.
We hope that everyone in the next week... I love it. I love Johnny's scarves, anyone that's watching the video and not just listening to the show. But we're going to... You know, I'm sorry about our guest that didn't come on. I know for sure Congresswoman Capter's team definitely wants her on our show, and I'm sure she should be on next week. So when she's on, then Dennis Kucinich will be on not long after. So we look forward to that. certainly everyone have a wonderful week. And what are you up to this week, Robin?
Actually, tomorrow night I'll be at Bounce Nightclub performing. 11:30, I believe, is the showtime.
Okay.
And of course, you can catch me tonight when I post my blog post right before midnight.
Please check that out. We're going to go to Johnny.
All right.
Have a good week, everyone.
See you later.
It's like an angel flying. I have no choice. I hear your voice. Feels like flying. I close my eyes. Oh God, I think I'm falling out of the sky. I close my eyes. Heaven help me. I bet that none of you guys can do high notes like that. So in my last video, I taught you guys how to riff, and if you want really good voice lessons, you can ask me because I am good. But like I said in my last video, I taught you guys how to do a riff. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to do a high note. Just a quick lesson. Maybe I'll do more voice lessons later if I have requests. So, okay. High notes all come in your head. I could be an opera singer if I wanted because my high notes are that good. That's what my family tells me and stuff. Okay, guys, so that's your lesson for today, and that's my song. Please subscribe, rate, like, whatever. Favorites, link it to your friends. Love you guys. Mwah. Thanks to all my subscribers. Pretty soon I will have a music video and maybe a video of me dancing. Okay, that's enough. Damn it, where's the stop button?